Hi all, it's Charity here. I am super excited to talk to you guys today about a very important topic that many people struggle with. And with the economy being so good right now, this is definitely something that you are going to want to understand and something that you are going to want to have in your back pocket to be able to pull out when you are applying to jobs. So today, let's talk about how to land the job interview. Many times, once you have the interview, that's a whole other process, but sometimes it can be very difficult just to land the interview in the first place. I'm sure you have all been there. I have been there personally when you have gone online and you've applied to multiple positions and you've sent your resume in to multiple companies and you hear nothing back. And you're just like, oh my God, I applied to so many positions. How many times do I have to do this? When will I hear anything? How can I land that interview? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. The first step to landing an interview is it's so important that I have to share it with you because I understand the frustration with not being able to land the interview and to sending out your resume and applying to many different jobs and to not hear anything back. It can be so frustrating. So let's talk today about how do you land that interview? Well, I think the first step one, the most important step in my opinion, to landing a job interview is networking. And you might say, oh God, networking. I hate networking. I don't like going to networking events. I don't like doing that. And when I say networking, I don't just mean going to networking events. Although that might be part of it, there are many other components to networking that we can talk about. So when it comes to networking, there are so many ways that you can go about doing it. My recommendation personally is if you have a job that you're interested in, let's say you're interested in a job with a company and you maybe don't know anyone in that company. So my recommendation is to first to go on LinkedIn. If you aren't on LinkedIn, I definitely recommend that you set up a profile on LinkedIn and based off LinkedIn, figure out if there is anyone in the company or if there's anyone in your network who knows someone who works for that company, or potentially you have someone in your network that works for that company. But many times, although you might not have someone in your direct network, there are most likely people in your network who know people, who potentially know people that work for that company. So I highly recommend, first step is to go on LinkedIn and figure out who in your network might have connections to someone in that company. And LinkedIn is great. I can do a separate video on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is great because it can show you second and third degree connections. And also you can search by name or you can search by company to kind of figure out who from your network might be in that company. So another thing you can do as well with LinkedIn is you can figure out, let's say you've gone for your network, no one in your network has connections to other people in that company. Then find someone in that company that has a common ground as you. So for instance, what do I mean by that? So let's say you are a military veteran. You were in the Army, let's say, and you can use that as common ground, and you find someone on LinkedIn who works for the company that you want to work for, and that person is also a prior Army veteran. Perfect. Connect with them on LinkedIn, send them a message saying, hey, I noticed that you were a military veteran, that you work for this company. I also am interested in working for this company. Are you willing to talk to me about your experiences with the company? Let me know how you've enjoyed working for the company, and send that message out. And you will be surprised how many people will respond. You might get some people that won't respond and they won't want to connect with you, but the majority of people will respond, and a lot of people are willing to connect and willing to provide you information about the company because of the fact that you had something common with them. So my recommendation is to find that common denominator, find that in with someone, and to use that to connect. And then from there, you can schedule maybe a coffee meetup, or you can schedule a Zoom call, or you can schedule a phone call to actually sit down with that person and start learning about the company, about their connection with the company. And then that connection potentially could lead to more connections. So networking, I think, is probably the most important thing you can do to land a job interview. In fact, all of my job interviews that I've had have been through networking. And it might be cliche, but they do say that when you apply online, when all you do is apply online, first off, if you don't have the right keywords in your resume, that alone can have the algorithm can just literally kick you out. So your resume might never even be seen by a person. So that alone says that networking is so important. You can't just wait for the algorithm to somehow magically push you up to the top, because it's not going to happen. But if you network with people inside the company, you let them know that you're interested, you let them know your background, that is your way in. And that is ultimately how you land the job interview. I think that is the most important thing. Networking cannot be overemphasized. Please, please, please network, network, network. And there's many other ways. If you don't want to use LinkedIn, there's many other ways. See who else you might have in your network, in your community. You can go and talk to different people. You can go to actual physical networking events. A lot of companies and a lot of organizations put on networking events. So that's another option to network. But some people don't feel comfortable doing that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I cannot emphasize or overemphasize, you have to network. That is how you ultimately land a job, is through networking. And I will try to do another video that will kind of dive a little bit more into ideas on networking and how you can further network with people. And then also I would like to do another video about informational interviews, how to go about doing informational interviews if you're interested in companies, to set up meetings with people in those companies to kind of get a feel for what they do, and then to also get your in. But once you land that interview, I want to say it's almost easy from there. The hardest part is landing the interview. And the number one way you can land that interview is networking. So I hope that this video helps you. I hope it encourages you to get out there, to network with people, get on LinkedIn, figure out who is in a company that you want to work for, and connect to those people and talk to them. And the more that you network, the more opportunities you will have. All right, guys, I really hope that this information is helping you. If it is, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, as that really does help me. Also, please, if you have questions, if you would like me to bring other videos to you, please drop some comments down below, and I will try to answer as many comments as I can, and then also try to bring you more videos based off your questions. All right, thanks guys, and until next time.